You walk into the gas station with $5 and a craving. You grab your favorite bag of chips. The bag looks the same, shiny and loud. You tear it open, and boom, half air, 3 sad curls of corn powder, and a broken promise. It's not your imagination. You're paying more and getting less. Welcome to inflation, the silent pickpocket in your wallet, the invisible shrink ray on your shopping cart. Prices go up, sizes go down, and your paycheck, it just sweats in place. But what exactly is inflation? Why does it happen? And why does nobody ever seem to fix it? Today, we're diving deep into the twisted world of inflation, where money melts slowly, groceries play hide and seek, and your dollars are sprinting on a treadmill while the economy pretends it's fine. 1. What is inflation, really? Inflation is when money quietly loses value over time. It's like your cash is on a slow diet without telling you. One year, your dollar buys a full coffee. Next year, it only buys half a cup. The price didn't change randomly. The dollar changed. Inflation happens when there's more money in the system chasing the same amount of goods. Think of it like too many people at a pizza party and not enough slices. Everyone still wants a piece, but now each slice costs more. That's inflation. It's not just prices rising, it's purchasing power shrinking. And no, it's not caused by evil corporations rubbing their hands together. It's often caused by central banks like the Federal Reserve printing money to solve other problems, like unemployment or economic crashes. But printing too much money without enough goods to match? That's like filling a bathtub with a fire hose. It spills everywhere, soaks everything, and ruins the balance. Inflation is measured by the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, which tracks prices of stuff normal people actually buy, like gas, groceries, rent, and clothes. When the CPI rises steadily, inflation is on the move. A little inflation is okay. Economists say around 2% is healthy. It means the economy is growing, people are spending, and wages can keep up. But too much inflation? That's when your rent, gas, eggs, and coffee all jump like they just hit puberty at the same time. And your paycheck didn't get the memo. 2. How did inflation get so bad? You might be wondering, why now? Why is everything getting so expensive in the last few years? Here's what happened. During the pandemic, governments around the world hit the money printer like it was an emergency fire alarm. In the US alone, over $5 trillion were injected into the economy through stimulus checks, business bailouts, and loans. That helped people survive, but it also flooded the system with cash. At the same time, factories shut down. Supply chains broke. Fewer goods, more money. That's the perfect storm for inflation. Then came the chip shortage, the housing boom, gas spikes, more pressure, more price hikes. It was like a clogged pipe building pressure until finally, bam, it burst at the grocery store. But there's more. Corporations noticed something sneaky. They could raise prices under the cover of inflation, even when their costs didn't go up as much. So some of them quietly padded their profits. Not all of them, but enough to matter. That's how you ended up with shrinkflation, the art of making stuff smaller without changing the price. Toilet paper rolls got thinner. Chocolate bars lost chunks. Family-size bags became snack-size sadness. And here's the kicker. Once companies shrink your chips, they rarely blow them back up. Inflation is sticky like gum in your sneaker. It stays. 3. Who gets hurt the most? Inflation doesn't punch everyone equally. If you're rich, you complain but adapt. You move investments, you shift assets, you weather the storm. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, inflation is a wrecking ball. Rent jumps, groceries skyrocket. A single trip to Costco suddenly feels like a crime scene. And the worst part? Your salary doesn't move fast enough. Employers rarely raise wages as quickly as prices rise. So even if you get a 3% raise but inflation is 6%, you're actually earning less in real terms. Seniors on fixed incomes suffer too. Their retirement checks are stretched like old rubber bands. Students, don't even ask. Tuition climbs, loans grow. Everything costs more while your future looks foggier. Inflation is brutal because it attacks silently. It doesn't feel like a thief, it feels like exhaustion. You're doing everything right, working, saving, budgeting, and still falling behind. That's the real danger. It's not just prices, it's the slow erosion of hope. 4. Can anyone control inflation? Enter the Federal Reserve. The Fed is like the thermostat of the US economy. If things get too hot, like inflation, it tries to cool things down. How? By raising interest rates. That means loans get more expensive. Credit card debt gets heavier. Mortgages climb. That slows down spending. And less spending means less pressure on prices. But it's a tightrope. Raise rates too fast and you trigger a recession. Businesses lay off workers. People stop buying entirely. The economy contracts. It's like trying to fix a fever by putting the patient in the freezer. Historically, it works, but with pain. In the 1980s, inflation hit double digits. The Fed jacked up rates over 20%. That crushed inflation, but also crushed the housing market and sent unemployment soaring. Now, in 2025, the Fed is walking that same line. Inflation peaked around 9% in 2022. They've been raising rates ever since. It's working, slowly. But the patient still aches. The cure hurts even if it's effective. 5. How can you fight back? You can't stop inflation alone, but you can outsmart it. Saving in a checking account? That's like putting your money in a time capsule and hoping the future still takes cash. It won't. You need your money to grow faster than inflation eats it. That's where investing comes in. Stocks, index funds, real estate, assets that historically outpace inflation. Think of inflation like a treadmill. If you just stand there, it throws you backward. If you invest wisely, you run ahead. Also, cut high-interest debt. If inflation is 4%, but your credit card charges 22%, that's a losing game. You're paying for inflation and then paying again in interest. And watch out for lifestyle creep. If you get a raise, great, don't blow it all. Bank some, invest some, pretend it didn't happen. That's how you keep your future self from eating instant noodles in retirement. Knowledge is your biggest weapon. The more you understand inflation, the less it can surprise you. It's not magic, it's math. 6. What about the dollar? Here's the big question. Will the dollar survive all this? Short answer, yes. Long answer, maybe, but not unchanged. The US dollar is still the world's reserve currency. That means other countries use it to trade, store value, and settle global deals. That gives it massive power. But if inflation runs wild and trust slips, that dominance can erode. Other countries like China and Russia have started pushing their own currencies in trade deals. Even crypto, with all its flaws, is gaining ground as an alternative. But don't panic. The dollar isn't going extinct next week. It's still strong because the US economy is massive, deep, and liquid. Investors trust it. But inflation is like rust. It works slowly. It weakens confidence. If left unchecked, it can rot the foundation. That's why inflation isn't just an economic issue. It's a national security issue. A weak dollar means weaker influence. Weaker influence means a shakier future. So yeah, your bag of chips shrinking is actually a global story. So the next time you open a bag of chips and see more air than snack, remember, you're not crazy. You're living through inflation. It's not a headline. It's happening in your kitchen, your gas tank, your rent, your salary. It's a slow pressure cooker that's been building for years. And no, there's no magic fix. But now you know how it works. You know why it happens. And most importantly, you know how to respond. Don't just complain. Don't just meme it. Understand it. Prepare for it. Use it. Inflation isn't your fault, but surviving it, that's your move. Thanks for watching Effortless Explains. Subscribe and drop a comment if your cereal box shrank while the price went up. Let's talk about it.